Hello students, today we will do the topic potentiometer. Now potentiometer is a device which is widely used to measure the EMF of a cell, but it can also be used to measure the internal resistance of the cell. Now before we move on to the potentiometer, we see the different parts of the potentiometer, means the subtopic which we will cover under the heading of a potentiometer. The first is the requirement of potentiometer. The first portion which we have to study is why potentiometer is required. Then second portion is the principle of potentiometer. So it has some principle on which it works. So that is the principle of a potentiometer. And the third part is uses of potentiometer. Now these uses are: number one, potentiometer can be widely used to obtain varying potential difference. To obtain varying potential difference means you will obtain different potential difference between the 2 points on its length. So we will see that a potentiometer consists of a very long wire. So depending upon its length, we can obtain different potential difference across its length that will be based on its principle. Then the second use is to obtain or to measure EMF of a cell, and it can also be used to compare EMF of two cells. So if you have two cells, with the help of potentiometer we can determine which of the given two cells have more EMF. And the last is to measure the internal resistance of the cell, to measure the internal resistance of cell. So this is what we have to discuss under the heading of a potentiometer. The first part will be why potentiometer is required, then its principle, and then we will start the uses of the potentiometer. So first portion is the requirement of potentiometer. So requirement of potentiometer. Now see, we have a device called voltmeter which is used to measure the terminal potential difference. The voltmeter cannot measure the EMF of a cell. Now why the voltmeter cannot measure the EMF of the cell? First we have to discuss that. And because voltmeter cannot measure the EMF of a cell, then we need a potentiometer. So basically this device accurately measure the EMF of a cell. So first is why the potentiometer is required, or you can say why voltmeter cannot measure EMF of a cell. So what voltmeter cannot do will be done by the potentiometer. Now we know that if we consider a cell, suppose this is a cell having the internal resistance R and the EMF is E. Now we have studied that terminal potential difference V is equal to E minus IR. So this terminal potential difference comes into the picture when the circuit is closed. Now voltmeter, what is voltmeter? So voltmeter is a device which can measure potential difference or terminal potential difference also, which can measure potential difference across 2 points in the circuit. Across 2 points in the circuit means the voltmeter is always connected in parallel across the 2 points. So if I want to measure the potential difference across a external resistance capital R, so I have to connect voltmeter parallel to it. So suppose I want to measure the EMF of the cell. This is the EMF of a cell, and we know that EMF of a cell is the maximum potential difference between the two electrodes of the cell when no current is drawn from it, or it is an open circuit condition. Now this is an open circuit condition. Suppose I connect a voltmeter across this cell having internal resistance R. Now see, the only possibility, first we come to this formula. The terminal potential difference is defined as E minus IR. So here, if V is equal to E, if we want V to be equal to E, that is terminal potential difference V is equal to E, then there are two possibilities. Either the internal resistance of the cell should be 0 or the current flowing through the circuit should be 0. So if we want, so this is the situation, if we want V is equal to E, then number one, internal resistance of a cell, internal resistance, that is R of a cell, should be 0. So if R is 0, then terminal potential difference will be equal to EMF. So internal resistance of cell should be 0, which is not possible. So every cell have some internal resistance. So it is not possible that the internal resistance of any cell is 0. It means V cannot be equal to E in this situation. Now second situation, if we want V is equal to E, second is I should be equal to 0. I should be equal to 0. I should be 0. I should be 0 means no current should be drawn from the cell. Now if no current is drawn, then and only then V is equal to E. Now suppose I connect a voltmeter across these 2 points. This is a voltmeter. This is connected across. So voltmeter is always connected across 2 points in the circuit. Here it is connected across a cell, or it is connected to 2 points A and B. Now what will happen? The circuit is completed. So R cannot be 0. R cannot be 0. Now as soon as the voltmeter is connected, a small amount of current do flow from the voltmeter. Now in the coming days, we will see that voltmeter resistance is very high. Its typical value is 5000 to 6000 ohms. So a small amount of current do flow from it. It means when the voltmeter is connected, the current start flowing in the circuit. And if the current start flowing in the circuit, V cannot be equal to E. V would be equal to E minus IR. So if voltmeter is connected across cell, small current do flow from it. Small current do flow from it means it will flow through voltmeter, and so V cannot be equal to E, that is V would be less than E, and hence we can say that voltmeter will measure or will show the terminal potential difference. So if this value is suppose 15 volt, the value shown by the voltmeter would be less than the 15 volt. So because we have an internal resistance, there will be a potential drop, so it will be 15 minus something. So voltmeter will never be able to show you the EMF, or it cannot measure the EMF of a cell, and the small amount do flow from it, and the small current flow because its resistance is very high. Now if I want to measure the EMF, means if I want V is equal to E, we have seen there are two possibilities. This is not possible. So potentiometer, in a potentiometer we will make an arrangement in such a way that I is equal to 0. The circuit will be closed, still the current flowing through the cell would be 0, and there will be the uses of, that will be the use of a potentiometer. So it can measure the EMF. At the same time, it will also help us to measure the internal resistance, and while studying the principle we will see that from the potentiometer we can obtain, one can obtain continuously varying potential across the 2 points. So let us see the principle of a potentiometer now. Now let us understand the principle of the potentiometer. Now before we try to understand its principle, let us say a simple arrangement of a potentiometer. So in an arrangement we have one battery which is called as driver's battery. So this is driver's battery, which is our main battery, because in the coming days we will be using the potentiometer to measure the EMF of a cell. So this is our main battery, which is referred as the driver battery. Let small r be its internal resistance, and we have a resistance box. Resistance box for the time being is a variable resistance which we can set as required, and we have a key. So this device, potentiometer, you will come across this device in the practical. When you will be going for doing the practical, we have this practical how to measure the EMF or how to measure the internal resistance. So it is a simple arrangement. So this is an arrangement. This is a key. This dot indicate that a key is closed, and if I don't put a dot, the circuit is open, means the current does not flow through it. Now see, potentiometer consists of, these are the devices or the components. One is a battery having internal resistance R, then a resistance box. Let us say the resistance of the resistance box is set to capital R, and now we have potentiometer. In a potentiometer we have a very long wire. So let us say the potentiometer wire start from this. So this potentiometer wire is of several meters. So it is a very long wire, and so it is clamped. Now this is a clamp, copper clamp say, or any conducting clamp. Generally it is copper clamp. So this wire is stretched. Again this is a copper clamp, then another wire. Again here we have a copper clamp. Again we have a copper clamp here. So this wire is several meter long. So these are the copper clamp. So this dark portion is a copper clamp because the wire is very long and it can become loose with the passage of time. So a small wire are clamped at a specific distance so that the wire does not become loose or it remain tight. So we have a several meter long wire. Let the length of the wire be capital L. So length of wire is AB and it is taken to be L. So this is a very long wire. Now let us try to understand its principle with the help of the values of this components. So suppose E is equal to 110 volt battery, that is a driver battery. Let the internal resistance is equal to 1 ohm. The resistance box is set to 9 ohms. Then the length of the wire is taken as 100 meter. Suppose this is the example, we are taking the values. The key is open. So the current is not flowing through this potentiometer wire. The potentiometer wire is generally made up of alloy. So we have alloy wires in the potentiometer. So these are the general values. Now in the potentiometer we have to introduce one more physical quantity, that is resistance per unit length, means the resistance of 1 meter wire. Now this wire should have a uniform cross section. The wire should have a uniform cross section throughout. So this wire is very long and we assume that its cross sectional area remain same. So we introduce that term. Again it is not a resistivity, it is read as resistance per unit length, that is resistance per unit length. So its unit becomes ohm per meter. So this is the resistance per unit length. Now this is an arrangement of the potentiometer. Suppose the key is closed. Now as soon as the key is closed, suppose this key is closed, the current will start flowing through positive terminal and then through this potentiometer wires. Now this entire potentiometer arrangement, that is this components are different thing. This potentiometer wires are mounted on a wooden block, and below this wire we have a meter scale. So suppose there is a scale below this wire of 1 meter, and if the wire is taken, this is a very long wire I have taken as an example. So if the wire is of 5 meter, so 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter and 5 meter, which will be connected to the key. So below this wire we have a meter scale. So these wires are clamped on a meter scale and the entire arrangement is mounted on a wooden block. So we will see this in the laboratory when we will go to perform an experiment. So for the time being, I am not drawing the meter scale or a wooden block. We have simply drawn a wire which are mounted or which are connected to a copper clamp, so that the tension is there in the wire or the wire is completely stretched. Moreover, we assume that the cross section of the wire is constant. Now resistance per unit length is rho. Now if the total length of the wire is L, So 1 meter wire have, let us take it this value as 1 ohm per meter. So what will be the resistance of entire wire AB? That can be written as L into rho. So 1 meter wire have 1 ohm resistance. So 100 meter wire will have 100 ohms resistance. So this is equal to 100 ohms. So these values are being taken just to understand the principle of the potentiometer. Now, suppose the key is closed and the current start flowing through this potentiometer wire. Now, suppose I want to find out the current in this potentiometer. Now, we know that current I is equal to total EMF divided by total resistance. Total EMF divided by total resistance. So suppose I connect a voltmeter one end at A and other end of the voltmeter at B, and if you assume that the voltmeter will show 110 volt, so it will not be the case because we have an internal resistance. So when current will flow through this internal resistance, so here the current will flow. So there will be a potential drop across capital R, there will be a potential drop across small r. So the terminal potential difference or the potential difference between these two wires will not be equal to 110 volt, for example. So what would be that value? What will be the potential difference across point A and B? That you have to find out. So in order to find out the potential difference, we first find out the current. So if I close this key, the current start flowing. Now current is total EMF divided by total resistance. Total EMF, that is E. Total resistance. So if we move in a circuit, capital R, small r, and the resistance of this wire, all are in series combination. So I will write R plus small r plus resistance of entire wire, that is L into rho. So you remember this formula of a current. Sorry, the formula of the resistance of the potentiometer wire, that is L into rho, where rho is resistance per unit length. So this is the total resistance in the circuit. So if I substitute this value, say 110 divided by, now it is not necessary that you always connect a resistance box or you connect a resistance, but an external resistance is connected in the circuit to maintain the flow of the current, which would be otherwise dangerously high. So 110 divided by this value, that is 9 plus 1, 10. So we have 10 plus this value is 100. So this is 110 only. So I will be equal to 1 ampere. So this 1 ampere of the current will be flowing through this potentiometer wire. So first thing that we have to understand is that 1 ampere current will flow in the circuit. Now what will be the potential drop across this R? So if I say what is the potential drop across R, then that will be equal to I into R. So this will be equal to 1 into 1, that is 1 volt. Then potential difference across this external resistance, that is I into capital R, that is 1 into 9, that is equal to 9 volt. So total it is 10 volt. So out of this 110 volt, the terminal potential difference will be 100 volt. So across these two ends, I will get 100 volt. I will get 100 volt. Now let us see the principle of the potentiometer. So this is an arrangement. First you see the arrangement. The arrangement is simple. Potentiometer generally consists of a wire of several meters which is made up of alloy, connected to the components, which is a battery, a resistance box and a key. And this wires is clamped to the meter scale, or we have a meter scale below this wire, and the entire wire is mounted on a wooden block. Now I will draw a simple circuit for this. So let us say a simple circuit for this for this diagram. In order to understand the principle, I draw a simple diagram. Instead of this wire being connected to a copper clamp, I take one long wire, say this is our AB wire whose length is L. So this wire, instead of this taken in a pieces, I take 100 meter long wire. This is our driver battery, internal resistance, external resistance or a resistance box, and a key which is closed. So current will start flowing. So current flowing in this is 1 ampere. Now suppose how this potentiometer, in potentiometer one can obtain varying potential difference. Now how this can be obtained? So one can obtain varying potential difference. So you need only one driver battery which is of 110 volt. R was taken as 1 ohms, this R was taken as 9 ohms. The length of the wire is 100 meter. So current flowing is 1 ampere. Suppose I want to find out the potential difference between point A and B. See, potential difference means when I connect a voltmeter, the reading shown by the voltmeter will be the potential difference across these two ends. So if I connect a voltmeter here, the reading shown will be equal to I into the resistance of this wire. I into the resistance of this wire. So whenever we want to find out the potential difference across the two ends or across any 2 points in the circuit, you connect a voltmeter parallel to it and then use the Ohm's law. So this is a Ohm's law. So I is 1 ampere. Now resistance of this wire, that will be written in the terms of rho, that is rho into L. So this is equal to 1 into rho value was taken as 1 and the length is 100. So this is equal to 100 volt. So this is the potential difference between point A and B. Now if you say I is constant in the circuit, rho is constant, so it depends on the length. Because the length is 100 volt and because rho is 1, I is fixed to 1, you will get 100 volt. Now if I bring a bulb which require 100 volt potential difference to light up, then simply I will connect that bulb here. So the potential difference across this bulb or any device which required 100 volt to operate will be connected here. Although the current will be different, this current comes at a junction. So now A becomes junction, so some of the current will flow through this wire, some of the current will flow through this bulb depending upon its resistance. But we are talking about the terminal potential difference or the potential difference across AB. So driver battery is 110 volt. Driver battery is 110 volt, but I will get 100 volt here if I connect the two ends of the bulb at point A and B. Now let us remove this diagram. Both diagrams are identical. The difference is because the wire is actually very long, so we have shown this here. We have bent the wire or we have connected the piece of wire so that it remain tight. Otherwise, if the wire is very small, I can take a straight wire. So let us remove this diagram. Because the wire is several meters, so we have to draw this diagram. Now, this is the first condition. So what is the potential difference across point AB? It will be I into resistance of AB. This I is equal to, this is the formula of I you have to remember. So I can write E upon R plus L rho, though this capital R is optional. So you have to remember I is the total EMF divided by the total resistance, then the resistance of AB. So this value is I that we have already found. So it comes out to be 1 into, this can be now written as rho length of AB. So VAB is equal to 100 volt. Now let us see how the potentiometer we can obtain varying potential difference. So one use is you can obtain varying potential difference as well. This concept will also become the principle of the potentiometer. Now suppose I connect this bulb. So it is understood that across this point AB, the potential difference is 100 volt. Now if I bring a bulb and connect it to a midpoint, say C, so what will be the potential difference? So potential difference will be equal to 50 volt, because for entire wire, so easily I can say like this, 100 meter wire have 100 volt of potential difference. So if I need 50 volt, what should be the length of this wire? So it should be 50 meter. Suppose I connect a bulb at AD, which is again the half of this AC. So V of AD will be equal to 25 volt. So say this is one of the use also, that if I have a driver battery of 110 volt, then depending on my requirement in the laboratory or in an experiment, I can use a potentiometer to obtain varying potential difference. So suppose one of my experiment need 50 volt supply. So I am not going to bring 50 volt battery. Then another experiment require 25 volt. Then I will not bring again a 20 volt battery. Suppose another experiment require 12.5 or 10 volt or 5 volt. So we have this principle that the voltage will depend on the length of the wire. The voltage will depend on the length of the wire. So potential difference between any 2 points on the potentiometer wire is directly proportional to the length. The potential difference between any two points. So we have AB, AC, AD. These are the different points. So the potential difference across any 2 points on the potentiometer wire is directly proportional to the length, because this value is also constant, that is current is constant and the rho is constant. So more is the length, more is the potential difference. More is the length, more is the potential difference. So this term will be referred as, we will see that this term including this rho will be referred as potential gradient. So it should be clear that across AB we have 50 volt, across AB it is 100 volt, so across AC, if C is a midpoint, 50 volt, if D is a midpoint of AC, 25 volt. So orally or mathematically or practically I can find the value like this. So if I want to use a potentiometer as a varying potential difference, if I need to obtain a varying potential difference, I will do this calculation and I will remember that 100-meter wire will have 100-volt potential difference across it. Now, if one of my experiment need 10-volt supply, so for a 10-volt question mark, so this will be equal to 10 into 100 divided by 100. So this 100 is cancelled. So what I will do, this wire is of 100 meter. So if this is a point, say E point, which is 10 meter, I will connect my bulb or a device. So the voltage obtained is 10 volt. So instead of writing this again and again, I will write this as 100 volt 100 meter wire means 1 volt per meter. What is the length of this wire? 100 meter. That we have taken 100 meter. And the potential difference across this point is 100 volt. So 1 volt per meter. Now depending upon your situation, you can connect across its two ends. So what is the principle? Now let us take the values. Suppose I take the 2 points, say one is C and let its length is L. Now what is the potential difference across AC? So I will write potential difference across AC is equal to, in the book we write it EL, that is EMF across the length L wire. So you have to indirectly remember this is I, the resistance of AC. One way is to remember the thing like this. Therefore, EL is equal to, now total current. Total current is total EMF of a, this is a driver battery EMF, you have to remember this is a driver battery, main battery, plus total resistance into the resistance of this wire, that will be written as L into rho. Because what is rho? Here rho is not resistivity, it is resistance per unit length. So if it is 20 meter wire and if we have 1 ohm per meter, it should be 20 ohm. So I will write here rho L, or the length of AC. Therefore, E of L, or you can say potential difference across AC, is equal to E rho upon R plus L rho into length of AC. Now if you see this bracket, this is the value of this is volt per meter, because RHS is volt, this is meter, so its value should be volt per meter. It is the potential gradient and it is a constant value. So for us, if I take this rho outside, it becomes a current formula. So in our textbook, we directly write the formula. We don't use this concept. Instead of this, I give a new symbol to this as given in the book is phi, length of that wire, whatever is the length, whether it is A and C points are taken as an example. So whatever is the length of the wire. So this phi is called the potential gradient. This phi is called the potential gradient. So this is the principle of the potentiometer. But now what is the principle? More is the length, more is the potential difference. More is the length, more is the potential difference. Here phi is equal to potential gradient. phi is equal to potential gradient, which can be written as EL upon L. So phi formula is EL upon L. So its SI unit is volt per meter. Dimensional formula left as an exercise. So this is the principle of the potentiometer wire. The sensitivity of the potentiometer depends on its length. Now let us write the principle. Now what is the principle of the potentiometer? So principle, the potential difference across any 2 points on potentiometer wire, or any 2 points of potentiometer wire, is directly proportional. So the potential difference across any 2 points of potentiometer wire is directly proportional to the length of the wire. Is directly proportional to the length of the wire. So this is the principle of a potentiometer, in which you can also obtain the varying potential difference. So potential difference between any 2 points of a potentiometer wire is directly proportional to the length of the wire. Whatever length you have taken, that is the length of the wire, not the entire length. Or you can write distance is directly proportional to the length of wire, or distance between 2 points. So this is the principle, that is, I can write E of L is proportional to length. So more is the length of this wire, more is the potential difference. So if I take an entire wire, it is 100 volt. And if I take the half of this wire, it is 50 volt. If I take half of it, it becomes 12.5 volt. So I can always find out the potential difference between any 2 points on the potentiometer wire. So it is based on the principle of a potential gradient, and the potential gradient is defined as potential per unit length. It is defined as potential per unit length. So one formula of the potential gradient is EL by L, or phi is also equal to this whole term, that is driver battery EMF into rho R plus R upon L into rho. So you remember this formula, that is the principle of a potentiometer. Now the sensitivity of the potentiometer. The sensitivity of the potentiometer depends on potential gradient. That is, smaller is the potential gradient. Now you see this unit. This is volt per meter. So if I write one potentiometer value is 5 volt per meter, and another value is 2 volt per meter. So what will happen? Smaller is the potential gradient, more sensitive the potentiometer is. So sensitivity of the galvanometer depends on the potential gradient. Sensitivity of the potentiometer depends on the potential gradient. Smaller is the gradient, greater is the sensitivity. So we will discuss about this sensitivity of potentiometer depends on potential gradient. That is, smaller is potential gradient, smaller is potential gradient, larger or let us say greater is its sensitivity. So if there are two potentiometer having potential gradient 5 volt per meter and 2 volt per meter, the sensitivity of this galvanometer is more. It means for a small per meter we will get 2 volt of the supply. We will get a 2 volt of supply, and for the first potentiometer per meter you will get 5 volt. So smaller is the potential gradient, greater will be the sensitivity of the greater is its sensitivity. So this is what we have for potentiometer. It can be used to obtain a varying potential difference. So if we recap all this thing, the current in the potentiometer is given as traverse battery EMF upon total resistance, where L is the total length of the wire, rho is the resistance per unit length. If you know this current, you can easily find out the potential difference across any length, say AC. So I am writing here VL. In our theory we write it as EL. This can be written as, you have to remember, first you write in, if you want to write it in Ohm's law form, you write I into the resistance of that one. I you have already found, so that is E upon R plus R L rho. Resistance of this wire, AC, only AC. We don't know its resistance, but we know the resistance per unit length. So I multiplied by rho into L. If I take this rho inside, that is my phi, that is a potential gradient. So potential gradient is potential across any 2 points of length L or distance L. This is my potential gradient. If its value is very small, the sensitivity of the galvanometer, the sensitivity of potentiometer is very high. So this is the principle of potentiometer, which is directly proportional. So I can write this term as the potential difference across any point is directly proportional to the length of the wire or distance between the 2 points. This is the main principle we will be doing, and we will use this concept to find out the EMF of a cell as well, the internal resistance of the cell. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the uses of the potentiometer. Have a nice day.